So I would say know the organisation that you're going to. So do a bit of research, find out what their values are and what they value in their staff. I would say to take your time and read what you're being given if you're being given a task, and think about your answers and put specific examples in, if you can, of your real life experiences. A good answer to a behavioural question would answer the question specifically. So quite often we find in interviews that you're so nervous you often don't listen to the question, so you can miss the key words that we've used when asking the question in that. So it's really important that if you're not sure of what the question was, to ask and get that reworded or get clarification. We would really love to hear someone who could give us an example of how they've used or had a real world situation. So for instance, if someone said to me, I can communicate very well, then everyone can say that, but tell me how you've done it. So say, in this situation, this is what I did and this was the outcome.
So I think the big thing, so let's talk about the customer service as a big one. This is something that we have strategically committed to because we've seen that within our market, that is a huge differentiator in terms of the level of service that we can provide. So it's very easy for someone to come into an interview and say, I've got fantastic customer service, I'm great when it comes to working with clients. But immediately we're going to start to see those behaviours in the workplace as to whether or not they actually align. And it's things like, do they respond quickly back to client requests? Are they the type who, when they get a client issue or a client complaint, or whether it's just a big challenge that they've got in front of them, do they sort of see it as a bit of a nuisance, or do they see it as kind of like, fantastic, let's roll in, let's make this happen? It's so much about the attitude in which they approach clients. I'll give a practical example in terms of the question that we ask at interview stage for that. So the question that we ask at interview stage for customer service orientation is, can you tell us about a time when you had a problem with a customer? And that's it. And the reason we do that is because we don't tell them what outcome we're looking for, and we tend to get one of two responses. We tend to get the response that is either a customer came in, they were ranting, they were raving, I did everything I could to calm them down, but they just weren't listening. So in the end, getting them out of the store and getting them out of our problem was basically the end goal. Or you see the other thing, which is really about trying to put themselves in the customer's shoes, understand what it is their actual problem is, trying to work with them to present some alternatives and some solutions, and do they get to an actual amicable, happy solution. And those two scenarios essentially is what we're looking for. So we're looking for that person who is willing to put themselves in the customer's shoes, in the client's shoes, and help them solve their problem, as opposed to getting the problem out of the way. And that's sort of the behaviour, I guess, that we go looking for. So one of the other big behaviours that we look for, obviously, is a team orientation. Are they a team player, or are they an individualistic sort of person? So the question that we ask at interview stage for that is, can you tell us about a time you had a problem working in a team? So once again, we don't tell them which way we're looking for the solution to resolve. And the reason we ask it like that is because if we just said, oh, are you a team player, or tell us about how you're a team player, everyone can answer it. So it's by putting a scenario in the middle and seeing which way someone leans that we get a really clear idea of what their natural tendency is, as opposed to the answer they think we want to hear.